The highlights of today's defense news, 1st of July 25. Reliance Defence partners with US firm Coastal Mechanics to tap Rs 20,000 crores MRO market. LTTS and thyssenkrupp steering partner to establish global software hub in Pune. Spy planes, air defense systems, sea mines, government set to clear over 1 lakh crore rupees in upgrades. Benchmark military spending at 3% of GDP, create non-lapsable modernization fund according to an eBuy report. Bell secures additional orders worth 528 crore rupees for radars, EVMs and defense equipment. Quad nations launch first ever at sea observer mission to boost maritime cooperation. Bharat Forge transfers defense business worth 500 crore rupees to Kalyani Strategic Systems. SatSure, Dhruva Space collaborate to offer end-to-end space-based solutions. Two RFIs issued for field IP telephone and optical bridge radio. Tata Advanced Systems showcases combat-tested Made in India UAV drones with indigenous tech edge. From petrol vessels to air defense systems, Brazil keen on acquiring India's innovations. The global highlights: European defense companies establishing strong foothold in India, leveraging cost benefits for competitive edge in global markets. Mtron secures $5.5 million contract for RF components in US naval weapon. HII and C3AI ink agreement to boost shipyard production using artificial intelligence. European drone builders tinker with AI in navigation and targeting. Let's have a look at the news from the industry. Reliance Defence has formed a strategic partnership with US based defence contractor Coastal Mechanics to tap into India's 20,000 crore rupee market for defence maintenance, repair and overhaul and upgrade services. The two companies will jointly offer end to end MRO and life cycle support solutions for the Indian Defence Forces, covering a wide range of platforms including Jaguar and MiG 29 fighter jets, Apache attack helicopters, L-70 air defense systems, and other legacy systems. Under the agreement, Reliance Defence and Coastal Mechanics will provide comprehensive upgrade and sustainment solutions for more than 100 Jaguar fighter jets, over 100 MiG-29s, and Indian Army's Apache helicopter fleet. The companies will also establish a joint venture at Mihan in Maharashtra. This facility will serve both Indian and international markets, delivering MRO and upgrade services for a range of air and land-based defense platforms. Coastal Mechanics, a long-time vendor to the US Department of Defense, brings decades of expertise in armament systems, spare parts manufacturing, and reverse engineering. The company is an approved DoD contractor with access to critical technical data and defense-related information. Earlier this month, on June 25th, Reliance Defence also secured a 600 crore export order from Germany's Rheinmetall Waff Munition GmbH, marking one of the largest high-tech ammunition deals by a private Indian firm. In June, it also signed a strategic cooperation agreement with Germany's Diehl Defence to manufacture Volcano 155 precision guided artillery munitions in India. L&T Technology Services (LTTS) and thyssenkrupp Steering have announced a strategic agreement to establish a software development center in Pune. The Pune center will serve as a hub for cutting-edge software development, including embedded systems, functional safety, and cybersecurity. This partnership strengthens LTTS's reputation in engineering intelligence and sustainable mobility. As per the agreement, LTTS will manage the new software hub. The Defence Acquisition Council is poised to clear a massive set of proposals worth over 1 lakh crore rupees aimed at modernizing India's armed forces and will meet on 3rd July to take up a range of proposals across the Army, Air Force and Navy, many of which focus on surveillance, air defense and maritime security. Let's see what's on the table. Quick Reaction Surface to Air Missile QRSAM Rs 30,000 crore proposal to equip the Indian Army with DRDO developed air defense systems capable of neutralizing aerial threats within a 30-kilometer range. I-Star spy planes. Air Force is seeking approval to procure 3 intelligence surveillance, targeting, and reconnaissance aircrafts. These planes will be sourced from international manufacturers and later modified by DRDO's Center for Airborne Systems in collaboration with private partners. DRDO Sea Mines. Indian Navy has proposed induction of pressure-based moored mines developed by DRDO aimed at countering enemy submarines and surface ships in strategic waters. Upgrading Su-30 MKI fleet. The plan to modernize 84 Sukhoi Su-30 MKI fighter jets, already approved in principle, is expected to come up for further consideration. The upgrade will include avionics, weapon systems, and electronic warfare capabilities. Underwater autonomous vessels. Navy is also pushing for unmanned underwater drones to strengthen undersea warfare and surveillance capabilities. According to an EY report, India should consider benchmarking military spending at 3% of GDP, creating a non-lapsable defense modernization fund besides incentivizing domestic manufacturing. The June edition of EY Economy Watch highlighted the need for a forward-looking defense budgeting strategy, saying this would build a more resilient and responsive defense infrastructure and make India better equipped to address evolving geopolitical and technological challenges. The EY report recommended benchmarking defense allocations at 3% of GDP, supplemented by the creation of a non-lapsable defense modernization fund and incentivizing domestic manufacturing to unlock long-term economic growth multipliers. Going forward, there is a need to enhance the capital component of the defense budget, streamline procurement processes, and emphasize defense-related research and development. The 15th Finance Commission had proposed the creation of a modernization fund for defense and internal security, a non-lapsable corpus under the public account of India, to be financed through disinvestment proceeds, monetization of surplus defense land, and voluntary contributions. Reviving the proposal could provide consistent capital support, insulating critical defense investments from year-to-year fluctuations. In a significant stride towards strengthening maritime security and interoperability in the Indo-Pacific, the Coast Guards of India, Japan, United States, and Australia have launched the first ever Quad at Sea Ship Observer mission under the Wilmington Declaration. Two officers, including women officers from each country, have embarked on board U.S. Coast Guard cutter Stratton, which is currently sailing to Guam. The cross-embarkation mission marks an unprecedented step in Quad Coast Guard collaboration, enhancing joint readiness, operational coordination, and domain awareness in support of a free, open, inclusive, and rule-based Indo-Pacific. The mission reflects the vision laid out at the Quad Leaders Summit in September 24 and signifies a deepening of operational ties between the Indian Coast Guard, Japan Coast Guard, US Coast Guard, and Australian Border Force. India's participation reinforces its strategic maritime vision of Sagar and complements national efforts under the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative with an emphasis on capacity building, humanitarian outreach, and maritime rule of law. The Quad at Sea initiative thus sets the foundation for a Quad Coast Guard handshake, fostering stronger trust, coordination, and collective resilience amid evolving maritime challenges in the region. Bharat Electronics has received fresh orders worth 528 crores since its last disclosure on 20th of June. The newly secured contracts include a range of defense and strategic equipment like radars, communication systems, electronic voting machines, jammers, shelters, control centers, spares, and related services. Bharat Forge has approved two key strategic actions: an internal restructuring of its defense business and an upward revision in the acquisition cost of AAM India Manufacturing Corporation Private Limited. As part of the internal restructuring, Bharat Forge will transfer identified assets and related obligations of its defense business to its wholly owned subsidiary Kalyani Strategic Systems via an itemized sale. The transaction, aimed at streamlining operations and enhancing focus on defense, will be executed at fair value as determined by an independent valuer. Kalyani Strategic Systems will issue optionally convertible redeemable preference shares of up to 500 crore rupees as consideration. Kalyani Strategic Systems, engaged in defense product development and deployment, reported a turnover of 1,247 crore rupees and a net worth of 232 crores for FY25. Bharat Forge will continue to retain 100% ownership in the subsidiary post-transfer. In a separate development, the board also approved an increase in the acquisition cost of AAM India to a maximum of 770 crore rupees from the initially estimated 544 crores. The revisions reflects higher cash balances in AAM India as of the expected closing date of July 1st, 25. Bangalore-based Earth observation startup SatSure has signed a memorandum of understanding with Hyderabad-headquartered Dhruva Space to jointly offer Earth observation as a service solution. The two will indigenously develop space-based solutions catering to commercial stakeholders. The partnership will integrate SatSure's downstream capabilities through its subsidiary Calidio, which builds EO payloads and analytics platform. Dhruva will provide upstream expertise in small satellite platforms, launch integration, and ground station infrastructure. Both companies aim to deliver sovereign EO services with faster mission timelines and higher reliability. Brazil has expressed significant interest in India's defense solutions, including secured communication systems, offshore patrol vessels, Akash air defense system, and the Garuda artillery guns, and shown keenness for defense collaboration between the two countries to also explore joint research, technology sharing, and exchange of training. They are interested in secure communication systems on the battlefield. They also have Scorpion submarines and are interested in maintaining those submarines. The two countries are looking to co-develop and co-produce equipment, including armored vehicles and small arms. Embraer, which is into the defense market for a long time, with its platform converted for airborne warning and control system, has also tied up with Mahindra Defence to become eligible for pitching for the Air Force's medium transport aircraft requirement. Now some news from Europe. Leading European defense corporations are increasingly selecting India as a premier manufacturing base, a strategic shift by significant cost advantages, a highly skilled workforce, and the nation's ambitious Make in India policy. This growing trend is reshaping global defense supply chains and fostering a robust industrial partnership between Europe and India. This collaboration allows European firms to enhance their competitive edge in international markets by producing high quality equipment more economically. With India's defense budget for 25-26 standing at around 6.81 lakh crores and a significant portion dedicated to modernization, these collaborations are key to securing major contracts. Several high profile partnerships highlight the strength of this growing trend. Airbus, in a historic joint venture with TASL, Airbus is producing the C295 military transport aircraft. Dassault Aviation, as part of its offset obligations for the sale of 36 Rafale fighter jets to India, has partnered with Indian firms including TASL. In a significant development, it was recently announced that TASL will manufacture entire fuselage section for the Rafale in a new facility in Hyderabad, a first outside of France. This deepens the industrial collaboration and integrates Indian manufacturing into the global supply chain for one of the world's most advanced fighter jets. Saab Sweden, the Swedish aerospace and defense company, is actively pursuing the contract for 114 new multi-role fighter aircrafts for the Air Force with its Gripen E-jet. Saab has proposed an extensive Make in India plan that includes full technology transfer and the establishment of a complete production line in the country with Indian partners, aiming to create a hub for both domestic and export markets. Some other key partnerships are French firm Thales has established joint ventures with Bharat Electronics and Larsen & Toubro to produce sophisticated radar systems, avionics, and electronic warfare suites. The European consortium MBDA, a world leader in missile test systems, is working with L&T to produce missile components and integrate them into its global supply chain. So what is the path forward? The trend of European defense firms anchoring their manufacturing in India is set to accelerate. Indian government continues to promote policies that encourage indigenous production and foreign collaboration, such as liberalizing foreign direct investment in the defense sector. Initiatives like the Defense Industrial Corridors are attracting significant investment and creating vibrant ecosystems for aerospace and defense manufacturing. This evolving relationship signifies more than just a manufacturing arrangement, it is a strategic partnership. For European companies, India is a vital partner for navigating global defense challenges and securing supply chains. For India, these collaborations are a gateway to acquiring advanced technology, developing its industrial capabilities, and moving up the global value chain from a component supplier to a leader in co-development and innovation. This synergy is not only strengthening bilateral ties but also fundamentally reshaping the landscape of the global defense industry. A growing number of European companies have begun fielding drones with artificial intelligence features. At a recent drone summit held in Estonia, a handful of Latvian drone companies showcased their current focus of AI targeting capabilities. Among them, Origin Robotics recently launched an autonomous drone interceptor created to destroy adversarial unmanned aerial vehicles. Dubbed Blaze, the craft was trained with the help of AI to differentiate between various aircraft types and other objects. Once the system locks onto a target, it takes off and dashes to intercept it by smashing its warhead into it. Last month, Finnish company Patria announced it will lead a European industry consortium for the new Joint Artificial Intelligence Warfare Adaptive Swarm Platform or AI WASP. The program, which includes Finland, Sweden, Estonia, Italy, Greece, and Spain, seeks to develop AI controlled software for use on small to medium sized unmanned and manned systems. The project recently received 45 million euros in funding from the European Commission. Germany based drone manufacturer Quantum Systems unveiled recently the Mosaic UXS, a software command and control platform for unmanned systems to unify capabilities across land, air, and sea domains. The company reports that it is capable of mission planning and execution with machine learning and can plan swarm operations in which each drone is tasked with completing an individual mission. Now, some news from the United States. Huntington Ingalls Industries, America's largest military shipbuilder, has entered a strategic partnership with C3 AI, a leading enterprise AI software firm, to supercharge shipyard productivity using artificial intelligence. The collaboration builds on a 6-month initial enterprise AI production deployment program conducted at Ingalls Shipbuilding, where shipbuilding teams leveraged complex algorithms to adjust and optimize work schedules. The initial deployment of C3 AI application, powered by the C3 Agentic AI platform, demonstrated significant improvements in schedule performance, an effort which will now be scaled across HII shipyards. Initial efforts will focus on leveraging AI to enhance planning and scheduling at HII's two shipbuilding divisions, the Ingalls Shipbuilding, which builds amphibious ships and destroyers for the U.S. Navy, and Newport News Shipbuilding, which constructs U.S. nuclear powered aircraft carriers and nuclear powered submarines for the U.S. Navy. That's all the news for today. We hope you enjoyed the news. Please do subscribe to our channel and do give us your feedback. Thank you.